Good evening, Internet. You are watching the Non-Pro TV Party, Agents of Carter, Harry Keff Show. I'm your host, Frank, joined not at all in studio by AJ and Matt. Hi, guys. How you doing? Yes.
Hello.
You are wooing. On Non-Pro's TV Party, we do a live Google Plus Hangout series where we geek out about television and invite you all to join along. We're not just recapping TV. We've spent too much time in front of it. In this episode of the Agent Carter review show, we are going to review Snafu. In Snafu, Peggy comes clean with the rest of the team, but is it too late to save Stark's greatest invention from the hands of Leviathan? I wish that rhyme went all the way through, but it didn't. It fell short. It's a shame, isn't it? Woo! Shame. All right, we're not going to woo shame.
Yeah.
So this is it the last it's the next to last episode?
Next to last episode before the finale.
So next week, or this Tuesday, will be the finale, Valediction. Snafu, in my opinion, is an appropriate title for this episode. This is definitely the first episode I did not enjoy.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a lot of problems with this episode. There's a lot of things I didn't like, and so this is obviously the episode where, like, right before the end, where things get really bad. The basic rundown, I'm sure everyone at home has already seen it, but basically, Peggy has been held and arrested for aiding and abetting Tony Stark and selling secrets to the Russians, and that was at the end of the last episode. And Dottie is clean. She got away, scot clean. And the psychologist, Dr. I want to say Ivo, but that's
Ivanchov.
Ivo is in DC. That's an Arrow thing. Anyways, yeah, he is with our with Effecto Proto Shield, and kind of giving them false information, and is going to help them steal the weapon. In fact, in this episode, they actually do steal the master evil MacGuffin weapon that that Leviathan has been looking for the beginning of the series. The reason why Tony Stark is running and hiding. So yeah.
Not Tony.
Yeah. Oh, not Tony. Proto Tony, otherwise known as Tony. Yeah. So, what did you guys think of it? I told you guys just basically I have problems with it. I'm going to detail them in a minute. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Did you also think that there were some things a little screwy about it?
I mean,
you want to go first? Even though Matt was talking and apparently when I interrupted. There's a delay, guys. Deal with it.
Matt can go first.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm curious to actually hear what Frank says. I actually enjoyed the episode, but I'll probably definitely see where Frank's coming on with his issues.
All right.
I guess those things weren't as big of an issue for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just really look at it as like setting up for the finale. So I sort of went in expecting that everything was probably going to be
perfect.
Perfect, yeah. I guess for lack of a better term.
All right. AJ, if you have something you could interrupt, but this is my basic thing, and I wrote it in my the post the pre. We do it right. I usually do it like the day of the show, so I quickly write down my feelings. What was that, AJ?
What?
Good. AJ is actually on such a lag. He's actually watching the show live right now. All right. So basically, here's my thing. It's not that like, oh, things are bad and I'm upset that they're bad. There's a couple of things that I did enjoy about this. I did like, at first, it seemed like the Doctor had like, a backstory that seemed like he, has a good side. He was helping that soldier out, sort of, kind of like as much as he could help that soldier out in his backstory. Dottie kicks ass. Her scenes, I'm sure somebody wants to talk about it in detail, but the stairwell thing, amazing. The thing I did not really like was everything that happened with Dooley. Captain Dooley just I mean, the hypnotism stuff was really cool. So I guess not everything. It was cool to see his troubled, home life, and like I did feel nervous about what was going to happen with him. This shrink is like this really like he's a good villain for the series because he's not like super powered or anything like that, but he's devastating in his own way.
Right.
But the suit that Dooley found himself wearing, the kind of like electric blanket armor that Stark had built for some reason. I know it keeps soldiers warm. I get the concept, but like, why was it so powerful? It was such an extreme explosion when it went off. The entire sequence of him going like, "Nah, I'm gonna save everyone by doing a sacrifice." It's like he almost wanted to be like, "I gotta get out of the series." It just really felt weird. And then he shot at the window and ran at it. It was almost like Hudsucker Proxy. It was like very goofy about seeing this guy in this poorly designed suit, both like in universe and out of universe. It didn't look intimidating at all. Like as a set piece, it looked kind of weird. It was goofy, and it just killed me. I just could not take it seriously, and it was such a big deal because it's the major loss we're gonna suffer in this series probably, or at very least the major loss we're gonna get before the final episode. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah, it just felt really weak.
Yeah.
He was built up to be a very strong character, very strong-willed character, and the only sign of him actually fighting back was, him passively saying, "I really don't think I should hand this to you," and then he hands it to him anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool that he at least got that, but yeah, you're right. It felt like he had no fangs. Like it was barely anything. At least they did do a hat tip to it. Yeah. What did you think of that scene, Matt, of him going out the window?
You know what? I totally understand where you're coming from, and I sort of felt it the same way. I'll agree with you that, like, yeah, the whole entire vest thing was a little ridiculous, but in all fairness, they did say, like, Howard does say at the beginning of the miniseries that he invents stuff because he can't help himself. It's sort of like a mental condition. Like, he has to make something no matter how dangerous it might be. Or, like, he has to, like, attempt to make something, and that's why he has that vault, is to throw all the dangerous stuff out there. And yeah, but like, I don't know, the whole entire sacrifice thing did seem kind of a little cheesy, but I think the show does give Dooley a bit more credit. Like right before he dies, when he's in like kind of like his fantasy world where he's talking to his family, he does say, "I let this guy escape. All I could do is watch." So he wasn't fully taking control of, which is to his credit.
Right.
And I guess,
unlike the guy from
the other agent that just went and got himself killed.
The truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it sucks because like we've had some pretty shocking deaths before, it also had like there was a very almost like serious impact to him, like the Krasinski getting killed, trying to transport a witness. That was a shocking death, but that was like it was brutal.
Yeah.
And this was very much like a comic booky death, and so I get what they were going. It was obviously the big loss for like that episode or like near the end of the series, but I felt like it could have been a little less hokey. I'd say that. I think that's my issue with it.
Yeah, and it didn't ruin the entire episode. It certainly didn't ruin the series, but it felt a little weak what they usually do. I'm worried a little that, I mean, some comics do have a track record of like building up expectations and then suddenly you get somebody jumping out a window and it kind of just resolves in a bad way. I hope the next episode isn't going to be like, it's over. or like a time jump so that it explains that one Agent Peggy mini movie thing. Like I'm hoping there's genuine payoff to this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
And the Doomsday device here is just, I could not take it seriously. I mean, like, I almost prefer it to be an actual bomb. You know, I mean, I'm sure in the arsenal of things in that room, they could have found something more deadly than the electric blanket. It just,
Oh yeah. That thing, the electric blanket suit was just ridiculous to me because I get it. It was because, you know, fighting in Russia warms you up. It's just the voltage, and why store that? But the actual Doomsday device is the gas,
right.
which is unleashed in a very cool way. They bring it, she like cool as in cruel. She puts it in the baby carriage and wheels it into a movie theater, and I think that scene is a little bit more significant if it was in a movie. You know, generally, if you're watching a movie where something horrible happens in the movie theater, that's more significant than if you're watching it on TV. But anyways, and it's like some sort of rage toxin gas thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, like, what their plan is. Did they just use it all in there?
you know, I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, like, what's their plan here? Like, do they just want to like start stuff up, like, and just start releasing the gas and hope that's some part of a big plan, or is there a plan? Is like, let's be dicks to the people of New York City or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could presume that there was maybe 2 vials or more than one. One they can sample, one they can, or maybe they just use a small percentage of it. I don't. It seems a little fishy. But I would not. I'd give them whatever kind of hand wave they need to suggest that they still have it. I'm surprised it was rage toxin. I'm saying that as if it's a thing. I don't think it's a thing, but it's certainly a trope, and that's what I'm a little upset with as well. It just feels like, I don't know. I guess there may have been like a bunch of things I had seen recently, all having the people go crazy and kill each other. Spoiler alert for a certain movie that's in theaters right now that starts with a K, but that is an element in there as well. There's a thing in Kingsman where people do go kill each other. And it's not that much of a spoiler, but there you go. It's not like a major part of the movie, or maybe it is. Oh well, I said spoiler alert.
What was that? What was that, AJ? You were gonna say?
I lost my train of thought there a little bit, but I still don't see the significance of them walking into a theater and just saying, "Hey, let's kill them all." I mean, it was a cool scene, but why did they do it? But at the same time, it also lets you know what happened to that army that had been wiped out, but no one engaged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the middle of Russia, it just doesn't explain why Stark's invention was unleashed there.
Yeah.
We weren't at war with Russia at the time. To my knowledge.
Yeah. So also, somewhere in between Iron Man 1 and I guess Agent Carter, the Stark Senior went from "I'm making really good missiles" to sci-fi weapons. There was some weird comic book escalation that happened after Jon Favreau, stopped being exclusively in control with Iron Man stuff. You notice that? It was weird. It's like, it's weird. Tony built his power armor, and it seemed like he went a little bit off the reservation when he built that. Like, it's really off of the Jericho missiles from the first Iron Man movie. But then you look at what his father did, and it's like, oh, all right, yeah. Missiles were the weird thing. The fact that they made missiles at all was odd.
Conventional weapons.
Missiles and bullets. We're more about death rays here in Star Wars.
Yeah, but the market was all dry for that. I mean, you only had one evil genius, and like every once in a while who'd want it, and you really, but missiles and bullets, armies all over the place want those. Yeah. He's got to build an empire here.
It's true, it's true. All right, so what great things were about this episode? There's a very specific thing I think was amazing, which was Dottie's sequence. What did you guys think about that one?
I wanted to bring that up. Can I go into that?
Yeah.
As Frank said, Dottie kicks all sorts of ass, and it was really amusing to see her pretty much just start styling on all the other agents and just like kicking all and just beating everybody from Thompson to Sousa to the Mooks that I think she just outright killed. Her scene, her like descent down the staircase, I'm pretty sure was a Black Widow move. in one of the either Iron Man 2 or maybe Avengers.
Oh,
Actually,
nice.
no, I think even it might have been Captain America too. I think Black Widow does the same move where she like leaps from like railing to railing to get down faster.
That's really
So
cool.
that I
Apparently
think
it was
that was a neat
effective.
nod.
Mm. Yeah, that was the best sequence for me as well. AJ, do you have anything else? Anything you wanted to point out that was especially fun for you?
She beat up a cripple. No, I'm kidding.
Uh,
He did hold his own, and I was
yeah,
very
Yeah, he
happy
was the
to
only
see
one that
that he
held
didn't
his own.
just.
yeah. I'm surprised, frankly. I did like all the mind messing sequences; those were pretty good. And the thing with Jarvis and Peggy reading the Morse code that was being tapped out was, it was nice. There was a lot of nice little
It was
nods
neat.
in the episode. I did enjoy it pretty much, but there was a couple things that just stick out in my head, and I just couldn't. This is actually the first Marvel television series we've had that's going to wrap. I know this seems like
That's
it's
right.
a lot of weird qualifiers on that, but like it's been a long time since we've had Marvel on TV. Never when they had like real exclusive control over their content, and this is a storyline that's going to close. Thankfully we haven't had that yet in Shield. So I'm wondering if they can actually wrap it up, and they should be able to. They knew how many episodes they had from the beginning, so I'm very curious to see where this lands, because now we know. I mean, it's pretty basic. There's a weapon. Leviathan stole it from Stark. They framed Stark. We know Stark's going to be okay at the end of this. We know Peggy's probably going to be okay at the end of this. But what is going to be the big payoff at the end of this series? I'm very curious to find out.
Mm.
Yes. All right. Do you have anything else to close on, guys? Or are we wrapping up?
Another really good scene that I thought was in the episode was the whole entire interrogation at the beginning. When Peggy starts pretty much laying down truth bombs on all the male characters, and that was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Like three different interview styles. Sousa taking the angry cop route, and Thompson actually being a little bit more
Who did a good
understanding.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it was well done, well shot, well filmed. A lot of stuff, and I didn't realize it until after it happened, though. That was like, why do we keep doing this? Why didn't she tell them beforehand? The reasons she didn't are, I guess, fair, but a little. She's an agency woman. She should have been able to share with her people beforehand. Now it's a little too late.
Yeah.
Especially for Dooley, who's a thin paste across on the street outside the window.
I think the technical term is fine red mist.
There you go. All right. So one more episode. I'm excited for it. We're gonna do next Sunday. We will definitely have a hangout wrapping up this series. Yeah. So you guys excited as well? Are you are you worried?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm worried that they'll hit the landing, but I have confidence.
Yeah.
I am on pins and or needles.
Very good. All right. If you like our hangout party and you want to talk about the show, leave a comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/. Thank you guys for joining us. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Yay.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Yeah. What we will indeed.